Hey, what's going on? It is your friend Buck at the No Tape Deck podcast. Hey, what's going on? It is your friend Buck with some amazing chirping birds. We are back for episode number 8, and today we have a special guest with us by way of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, by way of Atoka, Oklahoma. Excuse me. We have the amazing Jordan Rayner with us today.
Woo, howdy, howdy. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Thank you so much. It sounds like you are on a Tennessee porch, and I can just hear the birds chirping in the background.
I am. It really is like a country song out here. I'm on the back porch. There's fireflies, and yeah, those are our mockingbirds who continuously ruin my TikToks and anything that I've got to do on the phone. They only show up whenever I'm on the air.
Well, you know, I think it's going to add to the pod today.
Well, it's going to have to, because I don't think they've got any mind to take off.
As long as you're comfy, right? You're in a good spot.
I'm so comfy.
Excellent. And now you're in. It's about 2 hours ahead, so you're Central time zone.
Yeah, Central time. So yeah, sun's just going down, just trying to go down. Like I said, the fireflies are out. I'm not wearing a bra. It's great.
So that was my next question. I'm like, it's got to be sundown in your neck of the woods right now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again so much for coming on. This is proof positive that if you don't ask, the answer is always no, because I think I stumbled upon you. I'm going to guess a little bit differently than most folks. And by the way, you are the first country music artist on the pod, so thank you very much.
Really? Well, I'm honored.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of music in general. Your sound really kind of, for me, brings a lot of 90s country sound vibes, which I absolutely love. That's when I got into country music, was the mid 90s, around the time of pure country, 8 seconds, that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was always so confused. I'm like, isn't his name George and his name's Dusty on the jacket in the movie?
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
But I think I stumbled across you a little. I feel like I took like the back roads to figure out who you are, because immediately I saw a video you were talking about just overcoming life's trials and tribulations, and I was on the couch and I was getting ready to go to another show, not yours, in Hillsboro. I had another commitment that night. Otherwise, I would have been in Hillsboro to see y'all. Because it's just over the hill. I grew up a stone's throw from where you played. But I saw this story and I went over to iTunes and I listened to Straight Shot and I went, sold. Like, the last time I felt this way about a new country artist was probably the first time I heard Granger Smith, like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I had that same feeling where I went like, honestly, lightning in a bottle. I went to your Facebook and I was like, how cool is this? Like, not even going to the DMs, it goes to email. And then I was at the show later with my lady and the email pops up. And then, I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I do like a quick YouTube search and I'm like, oh, like she was on The Voice too.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you found me. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Super, super glad to have you. So, talking about the song Straight Shot, the first one that I heard, and towards the end of the pod, I'll get into some recommendations. But, right out of the gate, it's like the first verse hits and it's like a hook. And if you don't mind, I'm not monetized on this channel, and I kind of feel with your outlaw, like let's crash the Grammys attitude. Like, would it be okay if I just played like a quick clip and then?
Oh, absolutely.
You're awesome. Yeah. So what's your songwriting style? Like, how do you approach a song like that?
Into the writing room, and it was with 3 other guys, and me being the only girl in the room, I was looking for a new single. And I said, look, I want a song about telling it like it is. And one of the guys in the room said, so you mean like you're straight shooter? And I said, yeah, man. And so that's kind of where Straight Shot kind of was born. And that inspired the guitar riff, and I'm a guitar slinger. I don't just sing. I don't just write. Like I was a guitar player before I was even a singer. And so I picked up the guitar and I started working on that. And the guys kind of were like, oh, that's cool. And it just kind of evolved from there. And we just really didn't want to pull any punches lyrically. It comes right out of the gate, says, I don't apologize for what I am. Born with a working middle finger and a broken give a damn. And we're like, all right, well, if that don't set the tone for where this song's going, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's like, what time it is. Like right when you hear that, and it's like, then how can you not follow through. And that's as I'm like listening to the song, I'm
Yeah.
writing the the email, like, hey, like I love your story, love the music, instantly a fan. And
Yeah.
essentially here
Well,
we
thanks,
are. And
man. I appreciate that.
yeah, no, absolutely. And when you say I I don't know if it was a reel or if it was on YouTube because I've definitely gone down the rabbit hole, but there was a clip I saw of you covering a Keith Urban song where you're playing lead rhythm, tapping the guitar like a drum,
Yeah.
and singing. So from like a skill perspective, to be able to do that is super
Oh,
impressive.
thanks. Yeah.
So
Well, that all came from just not having a band and not having friends that played instruments. And I wanted, when I, played for people, I wanted it to sound like a whole band. And so I figured that, if I could tap the guitar with the heel of my hand, it sounded like a kick drum. And then if you open the tuning of your guitar to an open chord, you get all these open strings around the lead part that you're doing. And it ends up sounding like three or four people. And that was because I had no friends growing up. I had nothing but time to figure that shit out. And so that's why I play like I do.
hell yeah, it's just yeah, it's so like just multi-talented to watch that unfold and how you
Oh,
like story tell through it, and that's like a part of your performances that I've noticed. I was watching the what
oh
was it
yeah.
5 days ago? You did a live. It was about 30 minutes long. You talked like I think they called you in a little bit earlier. You were across the street and you ran over to a studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah. I caught.
But no, I'm a Chickasaw native, I'm Chickasaw Native American, and our tribe is, earmarked by storytellers. We are born storytellers. And so any show of mine that you go to, you're not just going to hear music. I mean, all the stories are going to be woven in because that's our life, right? I mean, day in and day out, you look back and over 10 years, there's been a great story that's worth telling. And between getting married early and, being a preacher's kid and getting divorced and going through all the things that I've gone through, I mean, it makes one heck of a fun show.
No, absolutely. There was I caught this little just like right there was a comment and I went, man, I gotta write that one down. It was so great. Towards the end of the set on there, you were like, check out the Spotify, Apple, anywhere music is undervalued.
So yeah, yeah, that's it.
And I'm like, man, she's like speaking to my like I love those streaming services, and I also am a believer in like I'll buy
Yeah,
the shirt, I'll buy the hoodie, I'll go to
yeah,
the show, I'll buy
yeah.
it on Apple. You know what I mean? Like I
Absolutely. You have to because we're not making a red cent on streaming, that's for sure.
yeah, I just love that like that outlaw, just sort of like oh, just
Hey, I'm a straight shot. I tell it like it is. There's no fluff here.
yeah, stole the words right out of my mouth. And being a country music artist, is there somebody like an artist that you're into or a genre where maybe it's sort of like a guilty pleasure where maybe like somebody would be surprised like, oh, she listens to so and so?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a so and so, but my guilty pleasure is listening to the Outlander soundtrack.
Nice.
Yeah, it's instrumental. It's just like off the TV show. It's Celtic. It's got bagpipes, and that's kind of like the place. Like if I'm driving or whatever, and I want to listen
Yeah.
to music, typically I don't listen to country music. I don't listen to anything with lyrics, um, just because I'm in a place in my career where I'm striving so hard for something, and it's really hard for me to listen to people that have already gotten what I'm striving for. So
Yeah.
I tend to lean toward like movie soundtracks and stuff that just makes me feel pumped up or gets me into an emotional place, stuff that moves me. Tends to be what I listen to.
I'm definitely going to check it out now because I'm number one curious. I haven't listened to it, and I do enjoy a solid, movie soundtrack, right? And that's rad to know
Oh,
exactly.
Outlander soundtrack is solid.
Yeah, and you said like Celtic sort of like shades on there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because Outlander, it's a show about the Scottish Highlands, and so the score is just beautiful. It's the score is by Bear McCreary, who did the score for Walking Dead as well. He's a
Okay.
very talented guy.
Man, you learn something new every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, being from the Portland area, your OKC Thunder are in the finals this year.
Hell yeah, they are. I'm telling you, Oklahoma cranks them out, whether it's musicians or
Yeah.
sports. We got the goods.
I just want to let you know that me and all my Trailblazer fans that we haven't seen a championship since '76. We are all rooting 100% in this neck of the woods for the Thunder. I promise you that.
I love it,
Yeah.
love it, love it. Well, thank you. Yeah,
And
go Thunder, go OKC.
heck yeah, and they used to be the Seattle Supersonics. So we're like
They
basketball
did.
nerds in this neck of the woods. So we know that, and I just wanted to
Yeah.
throw that out there today since you're from
Oh,
Oklahoma.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
series is 1-1. I hope to. My money says they're going to do it in the 6 games. So
Yeah, yeah, I think they're gonna pull it out.
I saw, um, speaking of '90s country, and your sound really just speaks to that. I mean, it's such a. I mean, you get into that era, right? Doug Supernaw, Clint Black, Diffie,
Yeah.
right? And I heard you say in an interview that you have a family member that wrote for Mark Chestnut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he did. He's kind of the guy that got me in the business. He wrote most of Mark Chestnut's early hits, and
wow.
he was in the business a long time, and kind of got me started writing country music, and it got me introduced to some folks, and really kind of helped me get started. So really thankful for that.
Yeah, he's just like one of the, I think, all-time greats from the '90s. I'll think of something
Oh,
going through the
oh,
Big D. Just
oh yeah,
that like '90s country voice. And then when I heard that, I'm like, no way, like that's so incredible.
small world, ain't it?
Yeah, it makes it seem.
Yeah. What's funny is that that family member kind of came out of nowhere because I never grew up knowing him. But when I was a teenager, I was starting to write songs and play guitar and that kind of thing. And my dad was like, we have a kind of a obscure distant relative that's in Nashville. Maybe I can give him a call. So my dad sent some of my songs to this guy, and he calls my dad right away. Stand by, hang on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Pardon me, I'm having a cough.
No worries at all.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Give me one more second.
Yeah, not a problem.
Anyway, so that relative calls right away, basically within a couple of hours of my dad sending that music, and he said, "Can I come to your house and talk to y'all?" And my dad was like, "Sure." And we had no idea what that was about. And so this family member came to our house and sat us down and looked my parents in the eye and said, "That girl's a star, and you need to do everything you can to support her and get her in the music business." And that's where it started.
Yeah, from the dude's mouth that wrote for Chestnut. That's yeah, couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. Yeah, 100%. Um, so far at this stage in your career, what's your favorite venue? If you could hop in your truck, get on a plane, whatever, go play any venue you want, where would you go right now?
Out of the ones I've played or bucket list that I haven't.
Let's go bucket list.
Okay, bucket list, Red Rocks.
Boom. And out of the ones you played.
Man, I tell you what, there's a little hole in the wall place called the Venue on Main in Belleville, Illinois. It only seats about 50 people, and it's this tall industrial building, all original wood from the 1920s. It's
Damn.
kind of refurbished.
Yeah.
There is magic in that room, and I love playing that room.
Hell yeah. That's officially going on the list. Thank you.
Oh, you got to go see it out there. It's awesome.
No, no, definitely will do. What is your go-to guitar? If you got to walk on stage, what do you pick up? What's your go-to? What's your favorite?
Well, if I'm solo acoustic and I don't have my band with me, I've got a Paul Beard model resonator guitar that was actually gifted to me by Gold Tone for my time on The Voice. They saw me on The Voice, and I was playing some of their instruments, and they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, we're really thankful that you love our instruments. We'd love to send you one on the house." So that's kind of my go-to. But if I'm with my band and I'm electric and I'm rocking it, I've got a 60 custom shop Fender Telly that's distressed pink shell. And man, I've had some of the best guitar players in the world hear that guitar and try to buy it off me right then and there and go, "What is that guitar?" And I'm like, "I will never
Damn.
sell it. It's got a voice. It's a once in five lifetimes guitar."
There you go. I saw some photos. You're sitting on a couch, like photo shoot style, is an article. Um, I take it that's in those photos.
If it's the pink
Yep.
guitar, yeah.
Yeah, it is, which I'm probably going to use for some promo for this pod if that's cool. A couple of those.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Nice. um, Tell me about like so in like if I had to just like off the top of my head go like top 10 just country songs in general, Fancy's one of them clearly. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so what was that experience like with the queen of country music, hailing from Oklahoma as well, right?
Well, for one thing, that pink telly of mine is named Fancy. I named it Fancy.
Oh, no
And
way.
oh yeah, that song and me have history. I spent a lot of years paying my dues in the honky tonks of Nashville, Tennessee, getting paid very little for 4 hours at a time on my feet, no breaks, no sitting down, and because I sound like Reba McEntire to a degree, we're from the same town, and so we kind of have the same accent. People always asked for Fancy. And so I played that song in the honky tonks for years. And so whenever I got the opportunity to audition on The Voice, I wanted to pick a song that felt like second nature, that I didn't
Yeah.
ever have to think about nerves taking over, that I knew I could sing it backwards and forwards. I was like, it's Fancy. So I picked that song before they even announced that Reba was going to be on the show.
No way.
Yeah. And it just happened to turn out that Reba was going to be a coach. And so I kind of call it fate. I was terrified. I mean, that's the scariest thing in the world, is to sing a superstar's biggest hit to them.
I bet.
Talk about daunting. But I did the thing. She turned her chair around. I wound up on her team. I was the first person on her team, and we
Yeah.
went all the way to the finale.
Yeah, that's just remarkable. And like I said, I came across you, I think, sort of, on the back roads, right? And I circled
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
and I was watching some of those performances. And when we were coordinating this, and I was like, I got home that night after emailing you, and I'm like making midnight snack in my kitchen, and I'm like, Ronnie Millsap cover on The Voice, like what? And she shreds. I'm like going,
Oh,
this is so incredible, like to have a song like
that was
that.
Reba's idea.
Oh, yeah, to the Stranger in My House song. Just
Yeah, she picked that one, and she was really adamant about it. And I kind of fought her on it. And I was like, I don't know. I've never sung that song. And she said, just do me a favor. And again, this is wild that I would have this conversation with Reba McEntire. She was like, do me a favor, take a video of you singing this song and send it to me.
all right.
I just want to hear your voice on it. And so this was not part of the show. This was just part of her trying to help me pick a song for that round. And so in my home studio, I get my phone out and I sing a chorus of it and I send it to her, and she goes, yeah, that's the song.
Well, then there you have it. I mean, how do you can't argue
Yeah.
with that?
You don't tell her no.
No. Wow, the story just got even more incredible because again, it's a song that like it's like so guitar forward, and it's one thing to hear you sing, and then it's the next thing to watch you play at such a such a high level,
Oh,
100%.
thank
So
you so much.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
definitely high stress, high stakes. I'm surprised that I could even sing, let alone do, I think, as well as I did. Um, I had to enter kind of another realm to be able to do that.
kind of leads me to my next question. It's normal to have butterflies and be excited and all that. Like what do you do in a situation like that? Like you said, you're singing the song that's so influential. You named the guitar after it, et cetera, and you're singing it to her. Didn't know she was going to be there up to a certain point. And then what do you do to sort of get in that zone of like where you need to be to perform like you do? Because you're amazing. So
Xanax.
done.
I took Xanax before every round.
Just calm the nerves a little bit.
Oh, I couldn't have done it. The one round that I didn't take Xanax was Stranger in My House.
Uh-huh.
And what you don't see, because for some reason I hit it very well,
Yeah.
I was having a full on visceral panic attack. The first downbeat of that song, I went completely numb. My hands went numb. Everything kind of went tunnel vision. And I thought I was going to pass out on live TV.
Whoa.
And how I made it through that performance, I do not know, because I was not in my body. And that was the one round I did without Xanax. And I said, never again.
And without you saying that, I would have never, because I've watched that several times since we started coordinating
Yeah.
this podcast. But yeah,
Yeah,
just,
that was the hardest round I did. And because I literally almost blacked out, because the stage fright on that kind of environment is so intense.
yeah, because from like the perspective of me watching, it's like you're like, yeah, like, and then comes like the shred part, and it's like, But yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
kind of curious because it's, completely normal, right? To be, a little bit of a
Oh,
moment, like right before you called me
if you're
today, it's like, oh, I'm doing this, right? It's like, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
It's not anywhere near in the same realm, but it's like, oh, it like kind of hits you. You're like, this is happening. I just want to know what, you were doing
Absolutely.
for
Oh,
that.
it's terrifying.
But hey,
And I'm a secret veteran, man. I don't get scared, but that's by far the scariest thing I've done in my career.
and did it well, amazingly well.
Thank, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. What is on the horizon for you, Jordan?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been in the music business professionally for 10 years
Yeah.
and I've never made a real record. Now, I've put out singles and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but it's been
EPs.
a lifelong dream of mine to put out a full length record and not just go in the studio and record 10 songs. I mean, really get picky and write your ass off and, do it, with your whole heart. And I'm doing that. I'm 7 songs in right now.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna be putting it out this fall, and it's the best music I've ever made, and I'm so excited to put it out into the world.
I noticed you have a show November 1st in your hometown. Is it going to be out before or
Yes.
after that?
Well, hopefully it'll be out before that. Give me 1 second.
Not going to
Stand
hold
by.
you to. Yeah, you're good.
Actually, that wasn't a coughing fit. My little weenie dog decided to take off after a rabbit, and I had to come catch him. You
Huh.
can't do that. You can't do that. All right. Anyway, yes, I'm going to be in my hometown of Atoka, Oklahoma on November 1st, and it's going to be right behind Reba's restaurant. And it's actually being put on by Reba's niece, Garrett. So it's kind of all in the family there.
Get out. That's so amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I imagine you'll probably start. Are you going to, like, down the road a little bit, like leak a single or.
Oh yeah, well we've leaked the first single
Oh, that's
already
right. Yeah.
called "The Girl You Left," and
That's
that
right.
was out on May. And then I'm gonna tell you first the new single. The second single is gonna drop July 4th, and it's called "Where the Cowboys Are."
There you go. 4th of July.
You're hearing it here first.
Heck yeah. July 4th. Gonna be ready for
Yeah,
that
but
one.
and that is a guitar slinging, fire spitting song. Let me tell you.
Love it.
Yeah, the guitar stuff in that song is bad to the bone.
Nice. Cannot wait. And then later on, so this is your first endeavor, full on studio album, 7 songs in.
Yeah, 7 songs out of 10, and dude, I'm telling you, my producer, he's a guy named Ilya Tushinsky, and he's played on, I mean, thousands of records from Reba to Dolly. He's produced Jelly Roll, Lainey Wilson. I mean, he's a very star-studded producer, but
Hell yeah.
that's not why I'm working with him. I'm working with him because he's just a brilliant mind. His like the way his brain works and creates music is so special, and he and I just click, and he's a guitar slinger, I'm a guitar slinger, and the things that we create together, I mean, this is a guitar record for people that just
Hell yeah.
love musicianship. So this is a really special record.
Yeah, and that's like the common, like that's the through, theme that I'm, from the second I heard you to like I'm listening to music right before we got on the phone today, right? It's like I'm just hearing that like super high level of musicianship.
Oh, thank
And then
you.
and then you get to find that connection with somebody and enjoy that artistic process. Man, I am so
Absolutely.
stoked. What's your dog's name again?
Tater, after Reba McEntire, because that's her nickname. I got Tater while I was on The Voice.
Yeah. Your dog is adorable. I've seen Tater in some reels.
He is a sweet potato, but he is a rabbit chasing the son of a gun.
What does he think of the birds?
He chases those twos, and he was chasing fireflies a while ago. He's chasing anything that he can get his hands on.
Heck yeah. Speaking of songs, we kind of went over Straight Shot a little bit. A couple others.
Yeah.
Obviously, for the folks listening that are new to Jordan Rayner and her incredibly amazing sound, you can close your eyes and throw the dart at the dartboard. It'll be a bullseye on whatever you pick and whatever you start to go with, or maybe even if it's I was even like your cover of Flowers by Miley Cyrus is remarkable as well.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That was a really fun kind of mashup of outlaw country meets pop. That's super fun.
Yeah, and in the description of this YouTube podcast, because I'm only for simplicity production purposes, I'm just sticking with YouTube as the platform. There's for sure going to be some links
Sure.
in the description and all that. And then definitely there's just a couple of, I mean, they're all great. So it's not really picking favorites here. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, just highlighting
Oh,
a
sure.
couple. Like Ain't Been Done is super good. And then a really soulful sort of again, it's just like it no pun intended, it sort of like paints a picture, at least in my mind, I'm sure many others, is the track Painted Horses. What was the process of making that song like?
Well, that song is about 8 years old, and I just sat down with a good friend of mine one day, and I said, "Look, being an Oklahoma girl, being Chickasaw, I want to be able to take any audience from anywhere in the country to my hometown. I want to be able to just for a few minutes, for 3.5 minutes, when I'm on stage, I want to take them home with me." And that song is it's a love song to Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is a really special place. It's where tornadoes happen and the sky's always moving. There's always thunder rumbling
Mm.
somewhere. If it's not right on top of you, it's either coming or going. That whole state just kind of rumbles, and there's electricity in the air, and you can hear the past. You can hear hooves of buffalo way, way centuries before we got here. And it's a really special spiritual place. And I wanted to capture that in music.
Well, you absolutely, completely did, without a
Oh,
doubt.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, remarkable. And I've never been east of Dallas, and I don't know, November 1st. I don't know. You said
Man,
Reba's
oh,
Reba's
get a
done.
flight.
I think me and my chick are gonna. I think
Oh,
we might
so
make
should.
it out. I've always
You
I've
should.
always wanted to check out Oklahoma, like so bad.
Well, listen, so if you go to Atoka,
Yeah,
come to the show.
yeah,
It's right behind Reed's Place,
yeah.
which, is the best Southern cooking you're ever going to have. Good Lord, it's such good food. And then my family owns a candy shop next door to that and a soda shop across the street from it. So you got your dessert and your meal and your show all in one street.
Sounds perfect. I think I might just book a one way and jog back to the Northwest, but
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
You should do that.
That is awesome. So, where would you like to direct folks to link up with Spitfire Nation? Right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so if you go to jordanrainerofficial.com, you're going to find my tour dates. You're going to find my official fan club. Now, listen, social media is great, and I give
Hmm.
y'all little tidbits on social media, but the Patreon fan club, that's where I really spoil my
All right.
fans rotten. That's where we do live streams. I'll do unedited footage of the studio where people really get to see the behind the scenes and what's going on. So patreon.com/Spitfire Nation. That's my fan club,
There
and
you go.
you do want to be part of that because it's a really tight knit family and really special.
Absolutely. That will also be in the description as well for folks to jam over. You've got some
You
super rad, like black, Jordan Raynor Black.
Oh,
I'm
oh yeah.
dubbing that saying right now. T-shirts. I love the whole, because number one, right? I mean, let's be honest. Who doesn't love right, Johnny Cash? I love the
Oh, of course.
yeah, like the glasses, the hat. I love how you're open about, like, again, that outlaw spirit of like, nope, I'm doing like what I want, how I want, when I want,
That's it.
and I'm gonna be super straightforward and direct in these intentions. I love it.
Man, in a time where everybody's got an agenda and you can't trust anybody and everything you watch on TV, you're having to wonder if you're being gaslit or manipulated. I want to be somebody that when I talk to you, I'm a truth teller. And it may be the ugly truth, it may be a pretty truth, but I'll tell you the truth.
Amen to that. Yeah, exactly. It's always good to know 100% where, quote unquote, you stand, right? And the truth.
Hmm. You'll never have to second guess that.
Heck yeah. And I think that is the authenticity in which made me hit that, like, hey, let's, I want to reach out, gonna shoot the shot, and here we are. It's life's funny like
I'm
that
so glad you
sometimes.
did, man. You're great.
Likewise, you are incredible as well. I want to do a quick thank you to the Spitfire Nation folks who are listening to this, and of course, the No Tape Deck family. You know what to do. Please, like, subscribe, jam on over to her website. Links in the description. Some awesome, amazing videos. Of course, thank you to Nicole Zellerhoff for coordinating this. Your awesome publicist. And
Yes,
one more syllable there on the
always.
end.
Yeah,
Publicist.
Nicole Zeller. Ha ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And a huge thank you as well, Jordan, for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I hope the rest of your tour goes amazing. And yeah, November's not that far away.
Not that far. I hope I see you there.
I think you will. Thank you again so very much for taking the time. All the best as you prepare to get that album wrapped up. New single out July 4th. Everybody, please do not forget that. Can't wait to hear the new album, and cannot wait to see the day when you crash the carpet at the Grammys.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Take care. Thank you so much, Jordan.
Thank you.